If you read the Russian media now, there is literally nothing left of the Ukrainian army. All soldiers and officers eliminated or wounded, tanks and armored personnel carriers have been burned, and the counterattack has completely failed. Knowing that this is only a reconnaissance battle, they continue to pour victory after victory into the ears of the consumer of their content. This is strongly reminiscent of the story in the Kharkiv region, where Russian war correspondents reported on the incredible losses of the Ukrainians and the heroic resistance of Russian troops, who left one city after another, until it ended with the so-called regrouping of Russian troops, but in fact the liberation of Ukrainian territories. However, even in their information field they periodically slip in, the situation is difficult, the enemy is exerting strong fire influence, the order stand to the death, where the hell is our artillery? And the rest of it. If we dive into Ukrainian media space, we can see that heavy fighting is taking place over a large portion of the front, and the AFU is advancing. Minimal information, and please wait until official data are available. The Ukrainian command now presses evenly on the front line, looking for a place where it breaks, then reserves can be introduced there. For the pessimists and followers of the "why it took so long" sect, just take a look at a map. Compare the size of Ukraine and Russia. And here is this giant empire now defending itself, while Ukraine is advancing. The Russian occupiers have had about 9 months to prepare for the Ukrainian offensive. Future events will depend on where the Ukrainian armed forces find the breaking point, it tears where it is thin. The question is how long it will take to find that breaking point. The Ukrainian armed forces counteroffensive will only increase, and the Ukrainian military is preparing to strike the main blow. At the same time, Ukrainian defenders need to strengthen their flanks, which are constantly being hunted by Russian occupiers. The future big counteroffensive will be more complex and multifaceted than the one that took place in the Kharkiv direction last fall. As the Estonian intelligence service said, it all depends on where they find a breaking point, so to speak, that they can push. I think there are possibilities all over the front. British intelligence notes that the AFU broke through Russia's first line of defense in some parts of the front. According to them, the Russians had to retreat through their own minefields. But at the same time, significantly increased Russian aviation activity on the southern front. In this location the airspace is more free for Russia than in other parts. However, it remains unclear whether the tactical airstrikes were effective, added the British military. The Institute for the Study of War claims that the Ukrainian armed forces have achieved success in the Zaporizhia and Donetsk directions. According to analysts, Ukrainian forces advanced in the Orikhiv, Blagodayton and Velika Novosilka areas, but the Russians put up strong resistance. In the south, the AFU is advancing toward Tokmak. It looks like they want, if not to cut off the corridor to Crimea, then at least to take it under fire control. In principle, this is the same thing. Believe in the armed forces of Ukraine and do not be influenced by Russian propaganda.